the leadership at South African Tourism has seen another major shakeup with the removal of both the chairperson and deputy chair by Tourism Minister Patricia de Lille. Now, the decision comes amid concerns over the excessive number of meetings held by the board, which has already consumed a significant portion of the budget allocated for board fees in the 2024-2025 financial year. To explore these developments, we are now joined by Minister Patricia de Lille, who will shed light on the challenges facing the SA Tourism Board and discuss potential solutions for the future of tourism, both locally and internationally. So, Minister, thank you so much for your time on the agenda this hour. It's great to have you on the program. So, let's get a better understanding of what led to your decision to remove the chairperson and deputy chair of the SA Tourism Board. Were there any specific incidents or inefficiencies that led to this move?
Well, thank you, Khaleesi, for the opportunity. Indeed, in June of this year, I raised concerns about the excessive meetings of the board and its subcommittees. In July this year, the Portfolio Committee of Parliament raised similar concerns. On the 30th of August, I convened a full meeting where I again raised these issues with the board. What became very clear to me in the board meeting was the response by the chair and the deputy chair that they have not spent a lot of money for board fees because the board has got a budget of 5 million rand. I had to correct them, to say to them, out of the 5 million, you've only been allocated 1.4 million rand for board fees, and that you've already accrued almost 900,000 within the first 7 months. So that confirmed that they did not understand that they don't have a budget of 5 million. So from there, I then asked for reasons for all of the meetings in September, and they responded to me, but they didn't reply to my concerns. Now, what is at stake here? That the Tourism Act was not adhered to, the Public Finance Management Act, government's cost containment measures, the board charter, King 4 principles that were not adhered to by the leadership, the chair and the deputy chair. And also, the two people that benefited the most out of all this accrued board fees is the chair and the deputy chair. And therefore, after being very reasonable and fair and giving them a hearing, I have decided to change the board leadership. I decided to keep them as part of members of the board and replace them with Professor Gregory Davids, an academic, to take over the affairs of the board. They chose to resign. And in their resignation, they want to divert the attention away from board fees and board meetings by claiming that they had to attend to specific priorities within SAT. I also reminded them that they're supposed to have 4 meetings per annum, and if they want to convene a special board meeting, they need to give the board members 14 days notice, and they also have to get the signatures of the majority of the board members. But this is not affecting what we are doing in the Department of Tourism and SAT. We've got our plans in place, and it's Tourism Month in September, and we will be able to continue the implementation of all our plans.
And what you're saying right now, Minister, also speaks of flouting of processes as well. And like you've also rightfully mentioned, budget concerns have been raised regarding the frequency of board meetings. Now, besides the new appointments, what new measures are currently being taken? This is to ensure more responsible financial management.
Yes, indeed. After I received the memorandum from National Treasury dated the 21st of July this year, I wrote to the entity, to SAT and to the department. I said, please familiarize yourself and read the cost containment measures implemented by National Treasury. I asked them to put systems in place and report to me about cost containment measures that they put in place. For instance, the reduction of travel, the reduction of meetings, the reduction of board fees. And I'm still to get a report from the board that says this is how we are going to do cost containment measures. Because at the end of the day, Mkhalisi, I am being held accountable by Parliament, and like Parliament have already raised these issues. So I will continue to clean up. I will continue to engage with the administration over which the board has got oversight. And I have now asked the new board chairperson to please convene a meeting with the board. One, to teach them, but also to make them understand what are their roles and responsibilities, what are their fiduciary duties, and have a strategy about how you're going to operate going into the future, because you spend almost more than half of your allocated budget for board fees, and we still have got 6 months left in the year. So I am attending to that.
And I'm hoping to actually pick this conversation up once you have heard from the board as well. But Minister, I'm told we are now out of time for our conversation, because I would have wanted to also delve into some of the gems that we have right now in South Africa, because I mean, this is now Heritage Month, and it also gives us a time to actually maximize on some of the star attractions that we have. Let's talk about the front on the local as well as the international front for tourism. What is this month looking like? Just a quick one.
Very quick, tourism is thriving, it's on the up. In the first quarter of this year, we contributed more to the GDP than mining, construction and transport. We are having an international event to celebrate Tourism Month in the Northern Cape at the SKA. We've got the biggest telescope there. But last year, in 2023, tourism contributed 95 billion rand from international tourists and 121 billion rand from domestic tourists. So certainly, together with the partnership with the private sector, we are trying our best, and we've got records and targets. We need to reach 15 million tourists by the end of 2029. Thank you very much.
That is, of course, Tourism Minister Patricia de Lille joining us there. Thanks very much for your time indeed on the program.